We've only played this game once before, but it was a great success, as Borat would say. The Guess Your Body Count game.
That's fun.
Yeah, so you would call in as a volunteer, and we would get to ask you a bunch of different questions without straight up just asking you, like, how many people have you been with? I know you hate that term, Seabass, but...
Body count.
Body count.
Well, it's just... It's my traditional hate of slang that's unnecessary.
Right, it's not this in particular. It's just one of those things.
One of the many.
Yeah.
Progression of language.
So we'll...
Oh, yeah, progression.
Oh, you know one that I saw... Yeah. One I saw a ton over the weekend was Selly.
Selly?
Greg,
for your cell phone?
Out of context.
Selly?
Selly. I'll give you some clues in a moment.
Is it one of those incel type people?
Incorrect. Good guess, though. Good guess.
No.
Selly.
Well, before it would be your... I mean, like in the early days, that would be your cell phone.
Correct. I'll give you a clue. Is in the context of sports.
Selly.
So-and-so. And they're Selly. It is something I'm sure your son will come to you with soon, Woody. It is a celebration.
Oh.
So like if an end zone Selly, or you
okay.
dunked and you had LeBron had a Selly.
Oh, jeez.
That is progression.
Well, saying bration takes so long.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's cooler to be. That's what makes slang so cool, Greg.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
it's always
that's
changing.
real cool. Right, good to know.
So much time saved. Although I do appreciate the abbreviations.
Yeah. Nash.
Yeah, it just depends on what it is.
I'd be a hypocrite if I said I would.
If it's like Toad's
support
cute,
that.
then Greg's all into it.
Or if it's really Hane.
But
right.
But Selly, maybe not so much.
Well, my argument to them has been always is you weren't saying that 2 years ago, and now it's every other sentence out of your mouth. So, anyway,
well, that's how language works.
I'm not sure how I first heard about this show, but there's a radio morning show in Australia.
How's their pie?
It's called the Kyle and Jackie O Show. Have you ever seen anything about this, Seabass?
I think we've brought them up before.
We have. I don't remember why.
Kyle and...
Oh, I remember why. Because somebody had sent it to us. The guy on the show, Kyle, he does half of the year from America when it's winter in Australia.
Lucky.
So he does half the year, like, he just... Anyway, they got a really nice high production show, like the video and everything.
I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah. They're all over. I mean, they are the show for the country.
They're very popular on TikTok as well.
Very. So I've seen some of their videos online, and like I said, their setup's really nice. Anyway, there was a little write-up about them recently, and this dating segment that they did, where they were looking to set up one of their listeners on a date. Single women tuned into the show to see whether they liked the sound of Jason enough, that was his name, to go on a date with him. He was in studio there. Now, there's also that Whatever podcast. Have you ever seen that?
Well, we've played clips. That's Menace's favorite.
That's where they had that. They kept kind of like the Jabba the Hutt chick. I forget what the gargantuan, the destroyer. Warlock.
Yeah,
There's
Warlock.
like 10
the destroyer.
people on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He always has like all these chicks on there, maybe and a couple of his friends. They're always talking about like his dating or sex stuff or whatever.
Steve Will Do It just gave Warlock a Range Rover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Greg, do you know what any of those references were?
Yeah.
Outside Range Rover.
The way that Woody described it, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What about Steve Will Do It?
I don't know that.
I don't know who that is, but the Warlock, the destroyer chick,
Steve
I know
Will
who
Do
that
It
is.
helped start, well, he's very popular online, but he also helped start the Happy Dad beer brand as well.
So anyway, on the Kyle and Jackie O show, they were talking about this, and the same kind of thing comes up on that Whatever podcast. But this guy, Jason, he's got a job. He's a truck driver. And as they're talking to him about like what some of his dating turnoffs are, he said, "I'm not interested in a girl with a high body count that is proud of it." And the two chicks who were on hold hung up. So that was it. Like they're like, "Nope,
I'm out.
I'm out." So the chick who wrote the article, her name is Mary Magnan. She says, quote, "When two women promptly hung up the phone, likely because we aren't in the 1950s, and a woman's number of sexual partners should have no weight on how she's seen, valued, or judged, Casanova Jason remained unbothered and said, 'We weeded out 2 tarts, so that is good.'"
Tarts.
And that comment left the female producers on the show visibly shocked. Jason then revealed he is a man with standards. My question is, for the ladies out there, like, what's wrong with that? Like, this is a pro slut piece, and I'm guessing this Mary chick who wrote like she's got a high body count.
Okay.
And she pretends that she is proud of it, but really isn't, which is why she was triggered. That's just a guess.
Okay.
But like, why is that a bad thing? Like, if you knew there was a guy who was like just a total player and whatever, and you're like, nah, that's a turnoff for me. Is that a bad thing? Like, some guys won't care if you have a high body count.
It just depends on the person.
And you're super proud of it or whatever. You're out there whoring around or whatever. Like, there's a lot of guys who probably wouldn't care one way or the other.
Some might not want to be with a slutty dude, while others think, oh, well, a lot of experience here.
Yeah,
Probably
like,
be a pretty good roll
look
around.
Look at Adam 22, Greg. Right?
Oh,
his
I
wife
was just thinking
is
about
like
that.
hooking up with other dudes.
Right.
But they are professional porn stars, both of them.
Yeah.
Right. But is it my question is that
Well, because why is it a big deal right out the gate, I guess? I don't understand why that would be one of his big breaking points for this whole bit is like, well, her body count is the biggest thing he cares
well, they're
about.
just talking about it wasn't like the number. Hey,
I
guys,
don't know
Yeah.
if he brought that to the
No,
sounds like it was
I think
offered up as a
They're
would
just
you
asking
rather.
him questions.
Right,
and
would
Right.
you rather
Yeah.
she did or
Oh,
didn't?
okay.
Yeah, like what are you into?
Oh,
Yeah, what's
I
a
thought he was
turn-off?
bringing it up like on his
No.
own.
That's just a list of turnoffs. But like, I can totally see, and I would agree. Like, if someone's out there like just like, loud and proud about like what a hoe they are.
Yeah, I think like on both
Like,
sides, men or
Agreed.
women
Yeah.
shouldn't be like out there
Yeah.
celebrating it.
That-
and if they are, they'll still find a match.
Sure.
Yeah, that wouldn't. I mean, that wouldn't fly. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, well, this is definitely the girl for me.
Right.
Because
but that's you. That's your own personal
Right.
Yeah.
preference.
But
Yeah.
but in what case would that be a positive? Why would someone?
I mean, there's got to be some
a high
dudes
number?
out there that
right?
are
Why would
into
that?
it.
Why would that be a plus?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, some
Good
guys are
question.
into that.
Whether you care or not, how
But
could
why?
that
But
ever
why?
be spun as a plus?
I don't know why they are.
If
I
it's,
can't speak for them.
once you
but
get to 10, you know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
right.
At that point, you're not gaining better experience. You're not like going to be
True.
a Zen master.
So
So what would be the plus side of that, other than hey, she's not into commitment, which is not a good sign, right? She is potentially reckless in her behavior, not a good sign, right? Like how is a high number a positive thing?
I don't have that outlook, so I don't know.
You'd have to ask somebody into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. So if somebody wants to explain it, text 22987, phones 877-44-Woody. Although we are about to open the phones to get a volunteer. Now this would be somebody who has no shame or has no problem in admitting what their
Body count is.
sex number is,
Low
their
or
sleep
high.
number,
Mhm.
however you want to put it, so it doesn't annoy people who aren't into current slang.
By the way, we are getting texts. The correct name of this person on that podcast is Gorlock the Destroyer.
Gorlock the
Gorlock
Destroyer.
the Destroyer.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Because
Warlock.
Yes.
Warlock.
It was a really funny actual edit where they like the first 5 girls. Hey, I'm so and so. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah. And then they put in like the job. And very cruel, may I say.
No,
Hey, she volunteered.
Gorlock
man.
is
She knew what
loving
she was
it,
getting
man.
into. Oh yeah,
Gorlock just got a Range Rover out of it.
yeah,
I think.
Way to go,
they're
girl.
Doing fine.
yeah. A couple pieces of feedback. We were talking about the guy who was doing that dating bit, and he said he wasn't interested in a girl with a high body count that is proud of it. And then 2 of the chicks who I guess were interested in talking to the guy immediately hung up. And then so like we were talking about like what's good or what's the positive. There's never a positive with that conversation when you have that conversation with a person that you're dating.
That's
Why would
so
you even talk
true.
about that? Like, hey, so what's your number?
Because you're
Yeah.
an idiot.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
what good comes to that was what Seabass was saying before the break, but at the same time people are like, oh, this guy's a dick, this guy Jason, what an a-hole or whatever. Like that's just it's important to him. It may not be important to you.
Yeah, but he's also saying if you're proud of it, which kind of is saying that you should feel shame if you do
Right.
have a high body count. Which
And that's for him. So you know what? He's not the guy for you. But so what? That's what I mean. Like that's his thing. The same way you might have some goofy thing.
But I mean, that's also perpetuating the double standard.
Okay.
Women should feel shame, and men should be high-fiving each other.
But see,
Well, it's not a double standard because the average woman can go out and get sex today,
Sure.
anytime she wants. The average man cannot.
yeah, that is true.
Poor
As
babies.
That
Not
is
an
true.
accomplishment.
Nearly
from-
as easily.
I think in my opinion, like I think both. I could see where like a woman be like, no way, and a guy with a woman with a high body count going, no way, and that's just a preference like anything else. It's it doesn't work for you. That's fine. You move on. I don't think there's any necessarily even shame in saying that.
Right. There's
It's
no
just
negative
not
implication.
Yeah.
for you. Another one says it's BS. I didn't meet my husband until my late 30s. If I had 1 or 2 boyfriends a year, from the time I was 18. It doesn't mean I'm a slut, even though my body count is high. Screw that guy. Well, again, then maybe you're not the person for him.
Right.
Why are you
it's
getting
also-
offended by his opinion?
Yeah,
It
Right.
doesn't
You're a
matter.
different
guess.
scenario than the
Yeah.
average person.
And I realize there is that double standard, but for me, I think it's unappealing either way, depending on the person. Like, I'm sure there's some women who, like, they don't want to think that this guy's been with every person in town. Same way there's a bunch of guys that don't want to think, oh, she just went and slept with anybody that she saw. I get it. It's just like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. 877-44-Woody.
Well, people
Well,
get offended.
No, I know, but it's like
Especially in this instance, there's nothing to be offended about.
right, exactly. Some
Nothing.
people
It's
won't
his
date
preference.
because they're a vegetarian. They won't date a meat eater.
Right.
Like, is that person like a bad person? No, it's just that
That's what
it's
they
just
want.
another preference.
Right.
Some people prefer brunettes over blondes or
Right.
whatever.
There's no offense
That's
to be
fine.
taken with this guy.
Yeah. 877-44-Woody. We have a female Ravy as they're being
Ravy?
on the screen. Well,
Nice.
I didn't come up with that.
Then they're virginal.
Okay.
Kidding.
All right, 0.
This is the guess your body count game, and so the way it's going to work is we're going to ask questions, trying to figure out without directly asking how many people they've been with, and then we're going to see who can get closest to that number. And again, all we ask is for honest answers from our volunteer. By the way, it's not like we dragged anybody off the street and put a gun to their head and said, "You're going to play this game." Some people get offended by that. I can't believe you played that game.
Well, they
What are you
wanted
talking
to.
about? So this person wants to identify as female Ravy.
Noise.
Good morning, female Ravy.
As opposed to male Ravy.
As opposed to we're quite not sure. Sometimes not sure, Ravy.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, female Ravy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great. Are you on speakerphone, by the way?
In a bathroom?
No, I'm in a bathroom though.
Okay. Oh, yeah. She's hiding from everybody else. All right. So we're going to ask you some questions. All we ask is that you give us an honest answer, and then we're going to try to guess. And all right, here we go. Who wants to ask the first question?
I do.
Greg
I do.
Gore.
All right.
Have you ever had sex in a public bathroom?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you have tattoos?
Yes.
Do you smoke
Occasionally.
weed or cigarettes?
Weed.
Weed.
Oh, okay.
Do you drink?
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
Really?
All
Okay.
right.
Did you go to a private school or a public school?
Public.
Public.
How old are you?
22.
22.
22.
Who is your favorite like hot male celebrity? Who's the hottest guy that everyone would know that you like?
I think Tom Cruise.
Oh, older
Oh,
guy.
throwback.
Daddy
Today's, like
issues.
today's Tom Cruise, not cocktail Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I think Mission Hour Tom Cruise. Or Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Okay.
All right. Have you ever had sex with somebody on the first date?
Yes.
What's the longest relationship you've ever been in?
Like 5 years?
5 years.
5 years.
Okay.
Okay.
She's
how
22.
and how old were you when you lost your virginity?
I was 14.
14.
Okay. Do you have
Okay.
siblings?
Yes.
Are your parents still married?
Yes.
Would you say you grew up in a strict household?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
What do you do for work right now?
Ooh, great question.
Thank you.
I'm an accountant.
Ooh,
Oh.
okay.
Nice.
Interesting.
All right. See, that, believe it or not, that actually helped. Thongs or boy shorts?
Sorry, what was that?
Thongs or boy shorts?
Oh,
Thongs.
Do you have any gay friends? Gay male friends, I should say.
no.
Then
Oh,
what-
wait, yeah, I do. Sorry. Oh, my God.
Yeah, my
Greg Gore.
best friend's
Forgot about
gay,
it,
but
yeah.
other than that.
Greg Gorey doesn't count.
are you into going out to clubs?
Not really. I'm more of a homebody.
Oh, okay.
right.
Damn, that really. threw
I'm
me
already
off.
locked in with my answer.
You're locked in?
Yeah.
All right, a couple more questions.
You said you have tattoos. Like, do you have sleeves or just like one here or there?
So I have like a patchwork arm, so I have multiple on one arm.
Patrick,
But total, I have around 17.
like Patrick from SpongeBob?
No, patchwork.
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 That is so common these days. I call it
Yeah,
the school notebook tattoo design where it's just like something here, something there, whatever.
Yeah, it's like the symmetrical.
Do you have
thing.
Do you have any piercings besides your ears?
Yeah, I have 3 nose piercings.
3 nose piercings.
Hell yeah, Greg.
Yum.
All right, one more question. Sammy, you got any questions?
What?
Thank you, Sammy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
What?
The question that I had was already answered. That's why.
Yeah.
Does your
Yeah.
do you have a relatively natural hair color?
No.
Yeah, see, I'm interested, like, Ravi and Sammy, like, from the female perspective, like, what kind of stuff they're asking, especially when it's a female.
Right,
Yeah.
to ferret something
I did
out.
want to know the longest relationship she had
Yeah,
been in
5
and how
years.
much she drank.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Those
Okay.
are some of the common ones. And she went to college. She's an accountant, so.
Yeah.
That could
Yeah.
Did you, okay,
Is
so
that college or a trade school?
So I went to college for like 2 years for something completely different.
okay. Now, beside your 5-year relationship, well, I guess even in the 5, have you ever lived with somebody? Like cohabitated with
Yes.
with a partner?
Yes, I'm currently living with my boyfriend.
Nice.
Okay. Have you ever cheated on anybody?
Ooh, good question, Greg.
Thanks, Woody.
Yes, in high school.
On high
Oh,
school.
nice.
yeah,
Okay.
that's high school.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I have
I'm
my
lucky.
guest down here.
Yeah.
Ravi's working
Yep,
on hers.
I'm good.
All right. So, Menace, you were the first person to lock in.
Yeah.
What is your guess here?
I'm going not with a high body count on this one. I'm floating between 5 and 6.
5.5.
I'll stick with 5.
5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greg Gorey,
For some reason, I immediately thought 4. I'm going 4.
Okay.
4. Ravi,
I went with 10.
10.
Yep.
See, I'm closer to Ravi. I went 12.
Ooh.
Okay.
I went 12. The fact that she started early, 14.
Right.
Right.
And cheated.
And cheated. And
But then had a 5-year relationship.
5-year relationship, but I think maybe
Yeah.
unless that 5-year relationship just ended, or maybe she's in it. That I'm not sure. I should have done a follow-up question on that one. Like, if there's been like a year or two after that big 5-year relationship, she could have gone nuts.
But then she has like
See
a
what I'm saying?
living boyfriend, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Sammy,
getting-
what's your guess?
8.
8. And then
Seabass was
Seabass.
I was also 4 like Greg,
4.
but for variety, I'll go 3.
Oh, 3.
3.
Okay.
All right, so what is your body count?
8.
8.
Right on the. But we were all
Nice.
very close.
Yeah. So, because
Yeah.
like after the 5-year relationship, how long has it been since that, or are you still in it?
So we broke up like maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, so yeah, I would have stuck more with that answer. If it would have been like, oh, a couple months ago we broke up, that's not enough time. I mean, it could be a couple months. God, you can do some real damage in a couple
Real
months.
I
damage.
know, for sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, female Ravi, thank you so much for answering our questions.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Appreciate that. Well, we're going to set you up with a prize, and we appreciate you listening to the Woody Show. Hang on, okay?
All right, thank
All right.
you.
What's the standard answer? 7. Women will
7,
typically
yeah.
say, right?
7.
Yeah.
That's Ravi's number.
That's my number. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They'll either say 7, 6, or 9, 8, somewhere in that ballpark. You know, it's within a couple either way.
Well, Ravi's
I
is
wouldn't
a
know
lot.
Kind of
because
a-
I never ask.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Greg? I inflated it.
She was trying to be cool.
Yeah, oh, okay.